Right, just do a split here. 10:30 tonight now. Mark. I hadn't called it. I wasn't sure.
Last week's defeat at Everton, do you think people will look at that maybe and say, this is a blueprint how to beat Arsenal, hit them on set pieces, crowd midfield, how I think a lot of teams will look at that and think this is how we beat them.
I think a lot of teams, they already been looking at the best way to beat us, and they use data, they use images, they did experiences that they had, they play in their strengths. I think every manager, every team is trying to do that, and Everton did what they did really well, better than us on the day. That's why they deserve to win the game.
But other teams have tried to do that before this season, and you've overcome it fairly comfortably. I mean, why do you think it went wrong last week?
Because there were certain details and certain aspects that we didn't do as well as the games that we won. And this league at the end and these games are decided on small factors. And against Everton, we didn't do that well enough.
Do you think it would be more the same from Brentford in terms of looking to keep?
Well, when you look how they beat all the big teams in this league, it looks very simple, but they do it extremely well time and time again. So tomorrow we're going to have to do that very, very well to win it.
Mentally, is this your toughest game of the season, Mikel?
I don't know. I think we prepare in the best possible way mentally for every game. It doesn't mean that it's the toughest, the easiest, probably because they don't need much. They already are looking forward to the game tomorrow. I can sense that. And we're going to have our people next to us giving us full of energy and enthusiasm and passion. And the boys are really looking forward to it tomorrow.
It's a long time since your players lost two on the bounce, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Does that mean? Does that make your approach any different?
No. Just because we always go through the process the same really way. When we win and when we lose, obviously we have to tweak certain things, but it's clear that we are here to win games, and tomorrow we have to win the game.
Dan?
Mikel, we've talked quite a lot this season since they arrived about the impact and the change of mentality that players like Alex Zinchenko have brought. And then last week you obviously were disappointed with the kind of lack of emotional control in the final few minutes. What do you put that down to, and how do you stop? Because clearly teams in this part of the season are going to try and target and wind Arsenal up. How do you stop that becoming a habit and a weakness now?
Sometimes just by learning lessons. Sometimes to talk about it. Sometimes you have to experience it in a positive way, and sometimes in life you have to experience it in a negative light to realize even more how important it is. And I think we had a good lesson that the other day.
You're not doing anything, you're not winding them up in training to try and train them to do that?
For sure this week they don't need that, believe me.
Mikel, we saw in the documentary last year that after defeats you can be quite critical of the players behind closed doors, and also we've seen that in press conferences in the past. On Saturday you came out and said how much you loved the team. It was a very different feel. I wonder, is that because the team has changed and they can handle it more, or they earn the right to be loved more, or shouted that less?
I think outside, I never have criticized the players. Never. And it's not, and what I do in the dressing room, there were cameras. But what I tell them face to face is going to be sometimes very different to what I say here. It has to be.
Does that mean you still would criticise them in the dressing room?
Criticize them? No, I give them my opinion. The first one about myself, when I made a mistake or when I didn't transmit what I had to do better.
So I think Sam was probably referring to the last game when you talked about the last game last season. You talked about that they had to suck it up, and you were quite strong about the Champions League challenge failing. Does it get to a point? Can you be as strong, or do you think the players now they've heard you say that and you can't quite be as strong because you've already used that ammunition already?
There's always another level of aggression you can go into. It's what they need. You don't have to do things. You have to feel, At the end is what is the outcome, why you want to do it, just to get the best out of them. That's it.
So why did you think it was okay to say it in that game when they're on a low and they must be quite low in that point and you can say it?
But when was that, sorry?
Was it the Newcastle game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You said they had to suck it up. Was it suck up then? You shut up, shut up and suck it. And it was they were obviously on a low, and you were prepared to say it, even though they were as low as they probably were. And now this week they might also be low.
No, it was my feeling. It was the way I said it. It's just you get what you see, and that was my way of saying. Now, yeah, it's very good to talk. Now, let's do it on the pitch, guys. On the pitch. Let's not talk on the pitch. Yeah.
Also, Mikel, have you discussed, I don't know, do you sort of go through worst case scenarios ahead of a big game like this? For example, what happens if you go 1-0 down? Have you actually sort of discussed those kind of scenarios and how you could react on a worst case?
I prepare them. For sure. Sometimes without telling them.
Well, go on, just expand.
Yeah?
Go on, just expand.
No, I can't. Because if not, I will be telling them if I tell you guys. Okay?
Thanks all.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.